belong to God. As guardian or snalig, they are often referred as the owner of the nature or Mfon. So the next is Bilaan believes that their waving design were imparted to the dreamer through the onilong or the fairies. So yan ang example na kanilang mga damit or mga suotin nila when they are dancing. So to make offerings to their deities, requesting for signs to know where to best make or clearing for a particular planting season. Before they plant, nag-offer pa sila ng any kind sa ilang mga god or goddesses para makuha nila yung particular planting season. There is the owner of the sea, Mfan Mfan Mabin, with the owner of the forest, Mfan Dilag. God is the creator and the guardian, and man as the user or occupier. So these are the example of the costumes of Bilaan. Very unique and creative. Bilaan men wear their hair long, have tattoos and their back, chest, legs, and arms. Some of the main characteristic practiced by the men and women of this tribe is that shaving of the eyebrow and the blackening of their tongues in filled incisors. A hand-woven mat is a spread of the ground of the floor and are considered to be a sacred place. So yung dito sa second picture, itong babae na nagluhod. So
Mm-mm.
yung mat na nasa harapan niya, it means considered to be a sacred place. It ha- it has ritual dances. One of their well-known ritual dances is imitating the movements of the male and female birds during mating season. So these are the example of their dances. I forgot to put video. Then so yan sample ng kanilang dances. Um, the ethnic art and the handicrafts of Bilaan. So, can you see as what can you see sa picture? Very creative and unique and very colorful. Colorful native costumes woven from abaca and decorated with embroidery, buttons, beads, and heavy brass belts with numerous tiny bells are worn by the women of the Bilaan. So ito yung ginagamit ng mga babae, sinusuot sa mga babae sa bilaan, mga bilaan. Um, so the secant-like capes, shells, and cold takmon are used to give a distinct design and colorful to their clothes. So ito yung mga handicrafts nila, itong sa baba, itong mga kwintas, mga ilagay nila sa kanilang hair, sa leeg nila. So yan. And this is also the instruments of bilaan. It is a, it creates the brass ornaments and traditional bedwork. They they have their own system or waving using abaca fabric. Their musical instruments like wooden lutes, floats, and bamboo tubes with the strings are used extensively with their rituals dance. So, kung na-try nyo na magamit ng ganito, very nice, as in very nice, while nagdance yung mga, while they are dancing the ritual dance, and others also are using this kind of instruments. Very nice. I already tried this when I was in grade 7. So, very nice and very unique. Ang ganda. So, that's it.
Okay. So that's it. Thank you, Miss Molina. And as additional lang din ha, yung ibang mga sayaw ng mga bilaan, it's some, yung part ng may mga sayaw sila, they represent a wedding ceremony, yung ginagawa ng mga
Yes,
bilaan.
ma'am.
Yes, it's a bilaan wedding ceremony. And as we all know din, binanggit na rin kanina earlier that bilaan worship mga one God and also believe that souls exist. Ibig sabihin, lahat na nakikita na sa paligid, they believe na meron yan siyang katapat na isang mga diwata na kung mag-prosper sila sa life nila, may mga tragedy na mangyayari sa life nila, they pray for that. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng mga nangyayari sa kanila o lahat na nakikita nila na mga gaya ng mga gaya ng mga bundok, gaya ng mga bato, river, they believe in everything na kapag manuno ka mga ganyan, they also believe in that. As you can see also that the women's blouse has lots of embroidery, tama? Mga embroidery, mga buttons and beads. Way back before, actually, nung hindi pa nag-exist yung itong mga plastic, mga beads, usually ang mga ginagamit nilang mga beads before, yung mga gamit ng mga shells, and then mga seeds ng mga, may mga bungang seeds, ganyan, yun yung ginagamit nila in order for them to put something na colorful sa kanilang mga damit. Okay. So they use weave abaca cloth. Okay, so is there any questions about them? May mga question po ba kay Miss Molina? May question po ba sila? One striking lang talaga for me, no, the word, yung Bilaan dialect, yung word na maan, right? Can you relate? Nakaka-relate
Yes,
ba
ma'am.
sila? Isa lang talaga tumatak sa akin na salita doon based sa report, maan. Ano daw yung maan?
Yung eat in English.
O, diba? Nag-strike
Yes,
talaga siya sa akin, maan. Okay, so may mga questions po ba sila kay Miss Molina?
Ako
Wala
po.
na. Yes,
Ako po.
sige, go.
Yung pronunciation ba is bilaan or blaan? Kasi may mga friends po ako, sabi nila blaan daw. Hindi daw bilaan.
Bilaan.
Pero, okay. Okay. Kasi sabi nila
Ay,
blaan
blaan
daw.
yun pag-pronounce po. Blaan.
Blaan.
Okay. Blaan. Okay, yun lang po.
Okay, what else? Sino pa? Wala na. So how do we pronounce the word? Yung name ng tribe na yan, it's?
Blaan.
Okay,
Blaan tribe.
Blaan. Okay. So meron pa silang tanong kay Miss Molina? Wala na? Okay, since wala na sila. Okay, so thank you, Miss Molina, for your wonderful presentation of the tribe na ibinigay mo for the Mindanao tribe. Thank you. And how about your partner, Mr. Panyala?
Ikaw na, Rico.
Baka mahirap kang Rico, yung network niya. Sabi niya hinay daw ang iyang signal.
Mahina ang signal niya?
Yes po, ma'am. Sabi niya daw.
Okay.
Opo, ma'am.
Sabihan niya lang tayo, Mr. Rico, if okay na yung signal mo, just tell us. Parang sagon, ikaw na yung sunod. Okay? So we will just proceed with the next person na lang. Okay? Para hindi tayo ma-stop. So i-note ko na lang si Rico afterwards. Kapag okay na ang kanyang signal, then we can start already with him. Okay, let's proceed with the next person na mag-report. May nakikita ba kayo sa screen ko? Wala?
Wala
Ma'am.
po.
Okay. Kasi dahil din sa weather natin, kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng ganito. So, let's try. The next reporter. Okay. Miss Daria and Galagnara. Tama bang pronunciation ko ng mga apelido nila? Okay, Miss Daria.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Galagnara. Okay.
Okay po.
Try your screen ko. Remove ko muna yung screen ko.
Okay po.
Ano natin?
Ma'am, kanay saan po dito, ma'am? Sa three dots po, no?
Opo.
Tapos, share.
Asan? Dito, opo. Yung makikita mo yung parang may arrow na
Opo.
pataas. Ayun ang
Okay.
i-click mo.
Okay po. Ay, ito, share screen. Nakikita lang po ba?
Opo, pati nakikita ko rin po yung
Yes.
mukha ko.
I see. Ayan. So, good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, class, guys. So we are the group 5, Philippine popular culture. So our topic is the Tausug and Yakan. So let us know about these tribes or these people. So first is Tausug or Suluk is the name of an Islamized tribal group in the Sulu archipelago and is taken from the words Tao, meaning man, and Sug meaning current. So they are current people or people of the current pala. So this native tribe, the first group in the archipelago to be converted to Islam, possess a courage that is beyond doubt. Their bravery is supposed to be unquestionable. Therefore, the Tausug are often named Tao Maisog or brave people. So ayan. They are proud Muslim, renowned for their fierce resistance in the face of Spanish conquerors for 300 years. The Tausug and the Spanish were engaged in almost continuous warfare, which ended when the Spaniards left the Philippines. The Tausug regards themselves superiors to other Philippine Muslim and still live a combative way of life. Running away from a fight is considered shameful. One old Tausug proverb says, hanggang mabuhay may pag-asa, meaning never admit defeat as long as you live. So ayan po. So one another background is that yung Bangsamoro po is that they want to pass it sa government last year because yung mga Muslim po gusto nila na sa kanila kasi daw yung sa Mindanao, if I am not wrong, they want to pass that kasi sila po daw yung parang nagdepensa sa lugar, kaya parang ganun. So the Tausug probably came to the Sulu archipelago from northern eastern Mindanao as a result of the expansion of Chinese trade in the 13th, 14th centuries. So another background is that dito din sa amin sa Butuan is na sabi ng mga matanda dito na wala pa daw Philippines is nandito tinawag na po yung place namin as Butuan, which means hindi pa natawag na ang bansa natin as Philippines pero meron na po daw Butuan kasi may mga Chinese traders that time and they call this place Butuan. Yun po. So that is just a trivia. Dito po yun sa amin sa National Museum. So next is the exact time Islam was introduced to the Tausug is not known. However, it may have occurred as early as 10th century AD when Arab trade was active with southern China via the islands. Since their conversion to Islam, the Tausug have remained staunch Muslims. They have also shown great determination in their fight for dependence from Filipino control. So, ayan. Means of livelihood. Traditionally, the Tausug are sailors. Kaya tinawag po din sila na people of the current. Pearl divers, traders, and their ancestral homelands in the Sulu archipelago have vigorous tidal currents that flow from the Sulu and China Seas to the Celebes Sea. This translates literal into the name people of the current. The livelihood of the Tausug is based primarily on agriculture and fishing. Cattle, chickens, ducks are also raised. The major cash crops are coconuts, coffee, and fruit. Fishermen, whether part or full-time, use motorized boats in offshore coastal waters. Nets, hook, and line in various type of bamboo traps are used. So, ito po yung livelihood nila from um, the the past years or yung work po nila noon and maybe until now. So ayan. So clothing, body accessories, and other visual art. So Tausug clothing is remarkably beautiful as well. The native attire of Tausug consists of baju lapi, the upper part, and kupot, pants for boys, while top for girls are batawi and sablay for formal occasions, and sambra and supa-supa for daily use. By the way, the pants for the girls are called sawal. Sawal. Yan po. Which, however, has a different design that would fit the top. So, Batawi, laka. Sorry po. Sa gabal kasi. Sorry po. So, Batawi, also known as Badyo Masigpit, is the most beautiful on the um, aforementioned attires. It can be made out of velvet or silk. It is designed intricately to fit perfectly into anyone who wears it. The outfit also jeweled with gold buttons just like how you see it in my photo. The sawal is wrapped around the waist. So makikita po natin photo mamaya. And secured by a belt over the batawi and sawal is called kindang. So this is a piece of cloth with embroidered designs and hang from the shoulder. It can also be around the waist. So kindang and batawi. Many years ago, these attires have not been worn so much by the people, unlike in the 7th century. However, in the recent years of many personalities in the region have been seen using the said outfit to many occasions, such as weddings and many special functions. So, ito po. If nakikita niyo po yung sawal and yung mga kasuotan nila. Wait lang po ha. Sorry po talaga. So, ayan po. Opo. Ito po yung clothing nila. Sa babae, ito po. Then sa lalaki. Ayan. Then yung parang yung naka-wrap sa waist ng lalaki. Yun po. So next, the clothing and bodies, accessories, and other visual arts. So other thing, Tausug visual arts are represented by carvings, metalworks, woodworks, tapestries, and embroidery. So mga artistic po din sila. Mat making and basketry, textile and fashion, pottery and other minor arts. Zanton 1963, this is a book in Ateneo, parang research po nila ito. In general, Tausug visual arts follow the Islamic prohibition of representing human or animal forms. Consequently, Mindanao and Sulu have developed ukil. What is ukil? So yung ukil po is a technique of embroidery, or it's a technique that they have parang they have invented so that it would be more yung parang decorative, or parang maging maganda po siya tignan, or abstract motifs which are carved, printed or painted into various media. These motifs are suggested of leaves, vines, flowers, fruits, and various geometric shapes. So ito po yung mga examples niyan. Ayan po. So nakikita niyo sa left niyo, yan po yung one of the things. I think that is wood. That is a carved wood done by them. And then in the right side is the embroidery. So ayan po. Next is the shelter, religious practices, and lifestyle. The Tausug tribe is one of the Muslim minorities in the southern Philippines. So they are most of them are, or many of them is under the Islam, or the religion, in the religion of Islam, but not all of them. There are also people, or Tausug people, that are Christians. So still retain many of the ancient practices and strong dynamic tradition of their particular tribal heritage, but are experiencing a great deal of change. Ayan. the traditional Tausug culture is diminishing because of the influences of the modern Philippine society. Many of the Tausug are living below poverty level and have been displaced from their homes and livelihoods by the wars and armed conflicts between between rebel groups and the Philippine government. So I think hindi naman po ito parang bago sa atin. There are a lot of people talaga na parang pag sinabing Muslim, kahit yakan man yan, kahit tausog man yan, kahit maranaw man yan, parang yung mga ibang tao is natatakot kasi ganito sila, ganyan sila dahil maraming silang nababalitaan na masama daw sila, ganun po. So ayan. And because of that, I think that would leads them to poverty because some of them is not employed because of because they are Muslims, because they are like that. So ayan po. So the Tasugs are Sunni or the Orthodox Muslims belonging to the Shafite branch of Islam. However, like many other Asian Muslims, they have retained many pre-Islamic religious beliefs and rituals. Their world is full of environmental spirits that are believed to cause sickness or good fortune. So parang animistic din. Their concept of life after death is a mixture of Islamic and traditional beliefs. Yung sinasabing traditional beliefs is yung mga beliefs natin na parang wag kang wag kang magwalis pag gabi na, yung mga ganon. So isa po traditional beliefs. For example, they believe that a person has 4 souls that leave the body after death. It is thought that the body then goes to hell where his length of punishment is determined by his misconduct while living on earth. Eventually, however, they believe that all Tausug reach heaven. So, and next thing is the Tausug house typically consists of a single rectangular room, bamboo or timber walled with a thatched roof raised on a post about 2 to 3 meters above the ground. And, ayan po. Yun po ang example ng Tausug house tribe or Tausug house or shelter. So, yun po yung report ko about Tausug. Yun lang po, ma'am.
Thank you.
Oo.
Or the Suluk, ang tawag natin sa kanila, are ethnic groups of the Philippines, Malaysian, and Indonesian. And you have mentioned earlier yung Okir or Ukil.
Opo, Okil, ma'am.
A wood carving para siyang baroque designs ng mga Spanish colonizer natin previously. So, since pumunta yung mga colonizer dito sa atin and they have influenced us with this kind of designs and mga wood carving, so na-adapt din ng mga Pilipino. Pero sa pag-adapt nila, mas binonggahan pa nila mismo yung the way ng mga arts and crafts na meron sila. So, thank you very much. So, do you have any question for Mr.
Galagnara, ma'am. Opo. Opo.
May mga question po ba sila? Or we can proceed with sa partner niya. Okay na? Wala po silang tanong? Okay, so since wala, so let's proceed with your partner, Miss Daria? Sir
Ma'am.
Daria. Yeah.
Yeah. About that, di kasi siya nag-reply sa chat ko, ma'am. So, opo. Tapos, nag-chat ako sa kanya last week. Pero, regarding yun sa, ibang topic din yun. Pero hindi man siya nag-reply, ma'am. Then, nag-chat ako sa kanya kagabi. Ayun. So, opo.
Okay, so let's proceed with the next reporter. So it's Mr. Rico si Mr. Panyalas, okay na? Mr. Rico, okay na po ba sila? O hindi pa po? Okay, since hindi pa, okay.
Wala pa ata. Dili pa, ma'am. Nag-wait pa ko sa iyang i-share nga
Wala pa rin na, okay.
PowerPoint.
Ay, ma'am.
Yes, Mr. Pan.
Yes, ma'am. May ano naman po ako, may siya naman na po ako sa Yakan, ma'am.
Mhm. So would you
So,
like to present it for in behalf of
yeah,
him
yeah,
or
yeah.
her?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am. Opo, ma'am.
proceed.
Okay po. So, still naka-screen share pa po ba ako, ma'am?
Opo,
Nakita nyo lang?
you can actually minimize yung yung picture para
Ah,
makita namin. Kasi ang
ganun
nakikita
ba?
talaga namin dito is maliit na screen lang talaga para siyang card type.
Okay. Wait lang po, ma'am. Sorry po.
Sige na.
Exit. I-try ko exit, ma'am, ha? Try ko exit. Ayan.
Try mo
Klaro
pa.
lang po. May still
Ayan.
screen
Ayan.
share?
Kaso
Okay
nga
po.
lang maliit lang siya. Sige, go on lang. At least marinig
Cellphone
lang
na po
namin.
kasi ako. Oo.
Okay.
Cellphone na po kasi akong
Sige.
ginagamit mo. Okay po. So, my next report is Yakan. Ayan. So, the Yakan are indigenous Muslim tribe native to the tropical island of Basilan, located in the Sulu archipelago in the most southern region of the Philippines. Yakan people are recognized for their remarkable technicolor, geometric weaves, and distinctive... Wala, nawala. Ayan. Wala.
Naghang ata siya.
Wala. Wait lang po, mama.
Sige lang.
Bye. Bye. Ayan.
Malakas kasi kailangan natin internet when it comes to MS Teams.
Okay. Kaya
Probably
pala. Hmm. Okay. Ayan. Okay po. So, Yakan people are recognized for their remarkable technicolor geometric weaves and the distinctive face decoration used in their traditional ceremonies. The Yakan are kind and loving people that embody a non-materialistic culture and live in a close-knit communities. So, back in the day, Yakan women traditionally made textiles for their cultural dress, known as the semek. So, accessories and interiors from abaca, pineapple, bamboo fibers grown on the island. But in the 1970s, Yakan people relocated from Basilan to Mindanao Island after political unrest and armed conflicts drove them away from their homeland. Since moving to Mindanao, the natural textile designs have been replaced with vividly colored cotton, resulting in much more Odysseus aesthetic. Today, Yakan people live peacefully in the settlements, predominantly in Zamboanga City, and earn their living from fishing, farming, coconut, and rubber, weaving, and carpentry. So, the Yakan are mainly inland dwelling agriculturists. Rice is their principal food crop, and historically they were suppliers of rice to the Tausug, the Samal, and other coastal or maritime peoples of the region. Cassava, manioc, and sweet potatoes are also important. Additional food crops include corn or maize, eggplant, beans, and other vegetables, as well as fruits such as papayas, bananas, mangoes, and pineapples. Coconut palms are grown for commercial cupra production. So, the clothing and body accessories and visual arts, the Yakan women are especially recognized for their skill in weaving. Their colorful fabrics featuring vibrant geometric patterns and design inspired by natural environment have long figured in local rituals. More recently, they have been produced for sale in coastal markets. Yakan music is largely percussion, dominated two types of xylophones. So yung mga musical instruments nila are largely percussion, which means a musical instrument that produces a beat, or yung mga drums, yung mga drum kit, or yung mga bass kit, yun po yung mga percussion. Two types of xylophones are played in the rice field, if not for personal entertainment. Then to frighten pest or to entertain ripening crop, music of tang gong, yung gong ensemble is popular at weddings and other festivities. The lead instrument in the ensemble of quintang, a row or of horizontally suspended pat gongs similar to the bonang of the Javanese gamelan of Indonesia. Tangongo music may provide accompaniment for either male or female solo dances. And similarly, the instruments may be played either by men or by women. So, the clothing and body accessories and other visual arts is first is they have trousers, yakan sawal, strip trousers with zigzag and diamond repeat patterns made from bamboo fibers. So, men's button-up shirt, yung pang itaas, baju yakan designed to match the trousers. Headscarf, yakan piece or geometric intricate weave worn to cover the hair on a daily basis. Bride's button-up jacket, pagalbato, is made from satin or cotton cloth and sometimes mixed with lurex threads. Batawi, yung kanina, handmade and worn on the women's jacket. So face decoration, tanyak is a face printing custom is unique to Yakan tribal culture. Worn only for wedding ceremonies, circles and spots and diamond patterns are printed on the skin using bamboo. Implements a thick mixture of white flour and water. The pattern are said to have no symbolic meaning but have been used for centuries as a form of cosmetic decoration long before commercial products were accessible. So, ayan po, makikita nyo po yung mga sinusuot nila. Ayan. Then, may mga puntik-puntik po sila sa face nila as a decorations or traditional, parang traditional nila or practices nila. So, the shelter and religious practices and lifestyles. There are no major Yakan villages. Instead, the Yakan live in settlements that are based on mosque affiliation. So it depends kung anong rango na nila sa kanilang mosque or saan sila na mosque nagsisimba. The mosque is considered the center of the community. Yakan houses are usually scattered among the fields and it is difficult to see where one settlement ends and the next begins. The inhabitants of a settlement may or may not be of the same clan. Ayan. So this is the example of my top most searches of the Yakan houses. So yan po. So the Yakan are primarily Muslim, and the Imam is the religious leader of the community and conducts various ceremonies. The Yakan follow the Islamic calendar and celebrate the annual Muslim feasts such as the birthday of Muhammad. Ceremonies are also held in connection with births, completion, and Quranic studies, weddings, and burials. The Yakan have incorporate many of their traditional animistic beliefs, belief that non-living objects have spirits. Into their Islamic rituals, they believe in evil spirits that sometimes attack people. One such devil is believed to attack and torture people during the second month of the Muslim year. So, para din sa atin, parang Friday the 13th, ganun po. The Yakan enjoy playing musical instruments. Flutes, Jews, harps, and percussion instruments are played at births, weddings, and funerals. Music is also played toward the growing rice in hopes of making it happy. The Yakan believe that this will help them have a bountiful harvest. So, ayan po yung example of how they perform in a wedding or in a celebration of the Yakan tribe. So, thank you and God bless.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Franz. Earlier kanina, you have mentioned yung mga designing of art. I would like to add. So, they actually apply mga repetition, your elements of art, just like repetition, mga geometric designs. So, their arts and crafts like yung mga textiles and bladed weapons, yun yung mga ginagamit nila, which have mga shapes gaya ng mga rectangles, square, and other mixture of shapes and mga curved lines. Usually, yun ang mga nakikita natin sa mga designs nila. And they put a white powder, kanina sinabi mo din, at white powder sa face nila serves as serves as the complement what they wear on their special day, especially sa kanilang wedding ceremony. So yun, not only that, but they also introduce to us mga different various yakan brassware, and then yung mga yakan clothing. Meron naman tayo dito sa Zamboanga, right? Makikita naman natin yung mga various different kinds of mga arts and crafts na pinapakita natin sa kanila. Pinapakita
Yes,
nila
ma'am.
sa atin.
Opo.
Not only yung mga carpets, not only their dress, but also yung mga cards na nakikita natin sa mga basket, sa mga baul na meron sila na inuukit nila na aside from that, it's made of mga shells. So, ang hirap-hirap gawin yun na napakamaliit to just introduce their tribe. So, yun. Thank you. So, may tanong ba sila kay Mr. Franz with regard sa Tausug and Yakan? Okay, wala. Okay, so let's proceed with the next. Okay, so we have Caroro and Columbres. Yan. So I think ready na sila. Caroro and Columbres. Your turn na po.
Yeah, I just mark. Oh. It's our turn.
I am still preparing. Just wait for a while.
Okay pa, okay pa.
So I hope this will work.
Yan. Okay po.
Okay, parang halos yung mga napili ngayon sa sa ating Wheel of Name is usually parang lahat nasa communities of Mindanao. Kung ayaw niyo, Sir Mark, Sir Just Mark, yung dun sa may baba, i-try niyo na lang diretso sa slideshow. Kasi minsan nagahang talaga. Hi, Mr. Jasmark mag-present.
I am trying to set up, ma'am, kasi naglalag po yung laptop. I'm so sorry.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Dito sa laptop ko, parang okay na siya, pero hindi pa lumalabas sa screen. Hindi niyo pa nakikita. Alam kung bakit. Baka signal.
Baka sa signal, sir, Mr. Jasmark, it's because sometimes kahit na kanina, class, no, kahit naka-wifi ako, ngayon naka-wifi ako, connected din ako sa land and all. Talagang pag nasa weather talaga natin, pag dumaan talaga tong weather na to, lalo na maulan ngayon, talagang maapektuhan tayo. So yun, nag-start na. Okay? Yan, nag-present na siya.
Okay. Thank you, Lord. So, good afternoon, everyone. Before we will start, let me just share to you our objectives for this time. So, yung objectives natin for this topic, that at the end of this report, hindi maghang.
Sige lang, sir, mag-ano lang yan siya, parang loading lang talaga yung pag nasa MS Teams.
So, at the end of the 20-minute report, the participants are expected to do the following. So, first is to explain the Bajau and Samal culture in their own words, since the Bajau and the culture is the assigned culture given to us. So, later on, you will try to explain these cultures. And second is to describe some unique ornaments and clothings of the said cultures. And the last is to name some of their distinctive practices. So I hope you are listening, because as we are discussing, there will be some surprises that you are going to get along with. Okay, so I hope that you will listen to every discussion and every content that the reporters will present, kasi meron tayong surprise mamaya. Okay? So, for the first topic, let me call in Jocelyn Caroro to discuss to us the Bajau tribe or culture.
Okay, so good afternoon. Okay. Sino po bang hindi pa nakakita dito ng mga Bajau tribe? Siguro lahat na siguro tayo, no? Nakakita na ng mga Bajau. At okay, yung mga Bajau, sa nakikita po natin, sila po yun. Nakatira sila sa maliit na bahay, malapit sa dagat, at yung pangkabuhayan nila is malalaman natin dito. Next po, yeah. Okay, for most of their history, they have been suffering people. Alam mo, yung suffering people, yun yung mga taong na pumunta sa, or pangkabuhayan nila ay nasa dagat. Kumukuha sila ng isda, and they are also known as, wait lang. Wala. Nalagay na siya ikuan. Wait lang po. sea gypsies, no? Sea gypsies or yung mga taong mamamana. So ano po yung ginagawa nila? Pumunta po sila sa ilalim ng dagat, kumukuha sila ng isda, shell, or ano pa, or yung mga parang isda or shell na makukunan nila ng pagkain. And particularly, they travel along solo sea, some of the most dangerous waters constantly. Di ba? Alam naman natin yung solo sea, between po sa Tawi-Tawi and Suba. So napakalawak yung dagat at napakalalim po yung dagat at doon sila nangunguha ng mga pagkain. And also, yung Sulu Sea, dangerous waters constantly facing piracy. Danger siya. Bakit po? Kasi mayroong mga tao doon na nagdadala ng mga baril, pumapatay ng tao at kumukuha ng kung ano yung mga nakukuha nila sa dagat. Or yung ninanakaw nila yung nakukuha nilang pagkain sa dagat. So, danger sila at delikado sa kanila. Pero, pumupunta pa rin sila doon kasi maraming pagkain na makukunan. And, okay, so this time, malalaman po natin kung sino siya. Okay, Rico Pañalas, can you describe the culture of Bajau in your own words? In your own lang? Po?
Right there.
Rico?
Wala siya yung signal, Jo.
Wala siya. Okay.
Ma'am, wala si Rico, ma'am. Hinay kayang signal. Di siya kasulod sa Teams.
Sinasat mo sa akin dito sa chat area eh.
Okay. Let's proceed the Bajau shelters. Ano ba yung tinitira nila? At saan po ba sila tumitira? So, sa nakikita po natin, some live in house boats and shorelines in house of stilts. So, makikita po natin yun sa picture. Yung mga Bajau, andun lang sa mga bangka tumitira. Doon lang sila natutulog, doon lang sila kumakain. At yung iba naman, sa ibaba, kumukuha sila ng kahoy, kinokonek nila yung kahoy para gumawa ng bahay, kahit konti lang, para tumira sila doon. And many families either share, alam mo naman you are unmuted. You are, saan siya? Or a house. Yeah, pala ko. Okay, just more, pwede ko pala basa niyo. Many families either naman nagbarag, you are unmuted.
Many families either share a houseboat or a house on the shore.
Oh, di ba? Kahit maliit lang yung bahay nila, yung mga Bajau, nag-share sila sa kanilang bahay. Kahit maliit, at kahit marami sila, parang sardinas na, pero sinishare pa rin nila kasi ganyan sila. Ganyan yung mga Bajau. And they combine efforts in order to share food and other resources. Diba, tingnan po natin, kung tingnan po natin yung kahirapan nila, yung buhay nila, mahirap, di ba? Pero they combine effort in order to share food and other resources. Nagtutulungan sila upang makakain sila. Diba? Makahanap sila ng pagkain. At yun po. And yan yung mga Bajau. Tumutulong sila para sa isa't isa. Okay. Bajau livelihood, as we all know, di ba guys? Kung makikita po natin sa picture, dagat. Siyempre, kung nagtumitira ka sa dagat, yung pangkabuhayan mo halos dagat din kasi yun yung makikita mo. Yun yung dyan ka lumaki. So first, they make their living from fishing, of course. Yung pangkabuhayan nila, pangisda. Panguha ng isda, and their migration has been in nabuo ka basa ni. Okay, the pursuit of trade. Yeah, pwede ko pakibasa ya.
Their migration has been part to their pursuit of trade, particularly in a sea cucumber species called the trepang.
Okay, yung mga kalakal nila, yung mga pangkabuhayan nila, doon lang sa dagat. And halos yung, alam mo yung tripang, yung para siyang uod na makikita natin sa market na tinitinda. Kasama siya sa mga lato, sa mga shell, at para talaga siyang uod. At yun yung kinukuha nila sa ilalim ng dagat. Doon sila na yan din yung mga isang produkto na kinukuha nila sa dagat upang kakain sila. Next one. So, okay, so this time, can you tell us what is the significance of the location where they live with their livelihood? Miss Delight Barbosa, can you tell us what is the significance of the location? Delight? Andiyan mo si Delight?
Delight is nasa screen. Miss Delight?
Siya, ma'am.
Actually, nandito siya.
Wala ba? Lagora siya nakakuan. Sige, so okay, so Badyaw clothing tayo. Let's proceed sa Badyaw clothing. So makikita natin sa picture parang social, no? And bongga. And, no? Okay, the Badyaw are colorful, spirited, and musical people. So sa na-research ko, hindi lang yung Badyaw na to ay natawag nating sama Badyaw. Parang mas social siya kaysa sa isang Badyaw na yung isang Badyaw kasi dito sa peoples makikita ko normal sila, and then yung sinusuot nila mga damit na kanang hugaw. Hugaw nga damit, tapos hindi pa ako nakita ng ganito, pero yung mga ibang Badyaw ganito yung sinusuot pag merong mga event, merong mga festive, di ba, sa kanila. And they are musical people. Siyempre, masasabi po natin na musical people sila kasi as we observe po, nagko-combine sila ng mga jar, mga lata, goma, parang gumagawa lang ng music, di ba? Para makabuo sila ng music. And then, yung mapapansin po natin pag ting Pasko, pero ginagawa nila yan para makaipon silang pera, maghahanap po sila ng pagkain. And they often wear colorful clothing due to the belief. Hindi ko makita. Yeah, yan yung sige po, yeah.
They often wear colorful clothing due to the beliefs that they are of royal descendants.
Meron silang fina-follow na royal descendants sa kanila na sumusuot sila ng ganyang kagandang damit, ganyang colorful na damit kasi meron silang belief. Okay, Badyaw wedding. Okay, as we observe, saan bang Badyaw dyan, Char? Yung Badyaw, yun yung babae. At yung lalaki, Chinese yan. So, na-in-love yung Chinese na lalaki doon sa babae. So, pumunta siya doon at pinakasalan niya. At weddings, it is common for the bride to wear many colors and will receive many water buffalo as dowry. So, familiar naman. Kasi yung Badyaw, tulad lang yan ng mga Muslim halos. Pag magkasal, yung damit nila, yung dowry, di ba? Will receive many water buffalo, mga karabaw para dowry. Kasi yung mga Muslim or Badyaw, pwedeng pera or hayop na idodori. At kadalasan yan talaga yung tribu nila, yun talaga yun. At hindi talaga yung mamawala, basta wedding, marriage, meron talaga yung dowry. And for their family na naman. And the marriage is quite common in this indigenous people. Next po. Okay. Spiritual practices. Kung titingnan po natin yung yung picture, yung tao. Grabe, ang daming ayos. So, traditional Bajau communities may have a dokon o as spiritual leaders. O siya yung spiritual leader at yung mukha niya na halos nakakatakot na. Kasi kung titingnan po natin, ang sakit kasi yung halos mukha niya, ang dami ng Arius. And almost, also kaya pwede ko pakibasa po.
Almost all Bajau today claims to be Sunni Muslim.
Halos lahat ng mga Bajau nagiging Sunni Muslim. Ano ba yung Sunni Muslim? Isa din niyang tribo at largest denomination which is 87 to 90% meron sila. And they also worship the god of the sea na tinatawag na Ombo Dilaut. Ano ba yung tawag yan? Basa Dilaut. Yun din yung spiritual practice nila. Yung god nila ay God of the Sea, na tinatawag nating nilang Ombo Dilaot. Okay, so what unique practices of the Bajau that you find interest and why? Okay, Mr. Genesis. Nag-wonder ka. Ito po, yung sagot. Jean? Genesis? Wala siya.
Actually, andito si Genesis and Delight, but I don't know what happened. It's either the connections that we have. Mr. Genesis, are you with us?
Hindi mga surprises.
Ayan na.
Okay,
Kaya
Jean.
marinig lang po ako, Jo. Sir, ma'am.
Oo, Jen.
Jo, marinig niyo po?
Oo.
Marinig mo? Hello, marinig niyo?
Oo.
Marinig niyo? Yes, marinig niyo lang po ako?
Yes,
please,
yes.
I think the verse. Kaya ba, yung wedding o yung picture na nakita na yung water buffalo as Dory. So, I talaga yung expensive, talaga yung water buffalo. But na-interest ako doon. And of course, yung spiritual leaders na si Dom and yung mga piercing niya sa face. So, interesting kung how many people na sa mukha niya. And yung Ombo Dilaut, the God of the Sea, it's my first time to encounter that word. And actually, yun, yung life and I've used really all of the tools are interesting. So, yun lang po.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jane. Okay. Shocking fact. Okay, a Filipino diver from the Bajau tribe can descend 65 feet to the sea floor and stay underwater for up to 5 minutes. And even without weights.
Opo, I'm done na po. Opo.
Okay. And can walk across the bottom of the sea as if like hunting on the land. So, sabi no, yung at also sa na-research ko ay pwede din silang 13 minutes doon sa ilalim ng dagat. And kahit 200 feet pa yan. And they hunting on the land. So kahit maglakad sila doon sa ilalim, kahit walang mabigat na mabigat na bagay na dinadala, they can walk across the bottom of the sea so that they can hunting on that. And dagdag lang po yung pagkain ng badyaw, kadalasan po nilang kinakain as usual fish po, not meat. Kasi kung kumakain sila ng meat, magkasakit sila. Magkaroon sila ng sakit. And they can communicate sa mga patay through ritual ceremonies or worship. They believe na pag may ritual sila, makakommunicate sila sa patay na. And yung mga problema sa badyaw ay they are unstable source of income and poverty. So, di ba, as we observe sa kanila, makikita po natin sa kanila, poor hygiene. Wala po talaga silang proper hygiene na sa kanila, and lack of security of tenor. Kasi di ba malapit sila sa dagat, sa gilid lang, and then pag merong mga disaster, di ba, halos sila kakawawa talaga sila. And yun din lang ang problema. Illiteracy, no write, no read, kasi yung parents nila, hindi na sila pinupunta ng paralan nila. Kaya no write, no read din sila. And electricity, wala silang electricity, high population rate, kasi di ba wala silang control, and then wala lang, go with the flow lang sila, and early marriage, di ba? Kaya nagiging overpopulation din sila. And Dory, yun din yung meron sa kanila, Dory talaga. And yung product na, syempre, yung badyaw din, meron talaga din sila ng talent, skills, like paano gumawa ng banig, areas through metal, mga basket, mga bag, mga mats, wallet, sandals, katulad ng mga ginagawa sa report kanina. Magkasing katulad lang sila ng mga produkto na kung saan sila mismo ang gumagawa. So let's proceed po sa ni Kuya Jess Mark.
Nakamute ka po. Yeah. Yeah, Gismark. Mute ka.
Kuya Jess.
Okay, so the Samal tribe is also known as Sama Bangingi, and Samal Bangingi. This is a distinctive ethno-linguistic groups dispersed throughout the greater Sulu archipelago and southern and western coastal regions of the Zamboanga Peninsula in Mindanao. So if you can observe, no, they have names that they call to their tribe. Pero parang halos parehas yung pagbikas, pero iba-iba yung spelling nila. These tribes, yung mga Samal Bangingi o mga Sama, these are mainly located in the Great Archipelago of Sulu and the southern and eastern coastal regions of the Zamboanga Peninsula in Mindanao. So they can be found mostly in these coastal regions. Okay, so the Bangingi or the Sama are not officially recognized by law either in the Philippines or in the neighboring Malaysian state of Sabah. This can be attributed to their natural ability to culturally assimilate and their acceptance in either Tausug, Sama, and Yakan societies. So in other words, yung mga Bangingi po or yung mga Sama tribe ay hindi lang po makikita dito sa Pilipinas. But in the neighboring nations din natin kagaya ng Malaysia, specifically sa Sabah, meron ding actually mga Bangingi or yung mga Samal Bangingi. But here in the Philippines, unfortunately, there is no law that recognizes officially Samal or the Sama Bangingi as a group talaga or culture dito sa atin. Bakit? Ano yung dahilan? Simply because they have this nature or ability to culturally assimilate. Okay? So parang mag-ano ba? Yung they can be now a Tausug. They can be a Yakan tomorrow. Parang grabe yung kanilang pag-a-adapt sa culture na kung ano ang gusto nila. Especially yung mga recognized na existing mga tribes din. Okay? So, wala talaga silang klaro. That is why this group of people, they are not recognized by law here in the Philippines. Okay? So, let's take a look at this question. Why do you think the Bangingi tribe are not officially recognized by law in the Philippines? So, let us hear your idea on this. Okay. So who is this man on the screen? So please unmute your microphone.
James Reed. Why do you think there are Bangingi tribe? Why do you think the Bangingi tribe are not officially recognized by the law in the Philippines? Okay, why do you think the Bangingi tribes are not officially recognized law in the Philippines? Siguro excuse me, wait lang kay tabang Kenan. Okay. I'm not even heard about Bangingi ngayon lang. Siguro I think they are not officially recognized by the law in the Philippines. Siguro independent sila, I think. Yun na po.
Ano yun ulit dyan, Vince?
Siguro they are not officially recognized by the law in the Philippines. I think it is because independent sila. I didn't even hear that before, the Bangingi. Ngayon ko lang po na narinig yan. Pero I think independent sila. That's why.
Okay. So thank you, John
And I
Vince,
thank
for
you.
that. Okay. So if you heard earlier, no, it was mentioned that the Samal Bangingi tribe is not recognized by law in the Philippines is because of their natural ability to assimilate to another culture. No, they are so easily being influenced by another culture. Kaya parang wala talaga silang permanent na culture name. Okay, no? Parang nasayangan yung Philippine ano natin, no? Para magbigay ng law that recognizes them. Kaya baka kinabukasan wala nang existing mga Samal dahil pumunta na din sa ibang mga tribes. So yun ang kanilang characteristic. So in terms of their language, the Bangingi language has both written and oral traditions. So its written language is in Jawi script and is fast becoming a dying tradition. Oral traditions are handed down by the kamatuohan or their elders to the kaanak kanor or yung mga anak nila or the new generations. So if we can observe, the only or the main way on how oral traditions can be passed on through generation is by reiterating it from time to time to their children. So the reason why I think kung bakit these oral traditions are already dying, it's because they fail to reiterate it to the new generations. They fail somehow to make an effort to really pass it on to another generations. Okay? So the orientation of the samal or the bangingi is divided into two basic categories. Okay? So wag tayo maguguluhan dito because the first category is known as the land-oriented sama. So sometimes they are called the sama dilaya or sama dilaya, parehas lang. Okay, baka na kamali lang sa pag-type. So these land-oriented sama are called sama dilaya, who are typically associated with a specific geographic location. And the nomadic or formerly nomadic sea-based sama dilaut, often called the sea gypsies, who historically lack such geographic ties. Okay, so in other words, itong dalawang uri ng samal ay yung mga samal na naninirahan sa lupa, parang meron silang permanent address, at yung mga samal na walang permanent address. So mostly, they are also called sea gypsies. In other words, they are living in houseboats. Yun. So wala silang permanent address. So yun ang dalawang uri ng samal. Yung may permanent and yung walang permanent address. Okay? So in terms of their livelihood, since they are living on the water and near the water or in the shore, so the primary economic activities of most of these people revolves around fishing and the collection of marine products. So like seaweed and shells, although many villagers are also engaged in agriculture. Yung mga sama na they are living in villages, okay? Yung mga may permanent address, some of them are working on crops. But most of the sama, especially yung mga nanirahan talaga on the water, sa boat or near the sea, yung sa shore,